So hello there, good people of the internet. I just got a brilliant idea. I mean, I must admit it's not my personal idea. I stole it from somewhere else, from a picture I saw on the internet. So recently I have been having a real good time using these dip pens made by D. Leonard, with a T on the end. But as I find, as I'm using these dip pens, what usually happens is I really get into the zone and then the ink runs out. It's not a real problem, to be honest. It's more of a made-up problem. It's just that I saw an image of some dip pen enhancements to increase the amount of ink they can hold without the ink flowing and dripping off the end of the pen. So I thought I might give my own dip pen enhancement methods a go, and I might use this one here. Just because it has this little ridge just here, so I know how deep I've dipped the ink pen for consistent testing. Now let's see how many lines I can make with a single dip. What an exciting video this is. Wow, look at him go. Drawing lines on paper. This is actually quite a fair few lines this pen is making. I'm quite surprised. So this dip pen nib dipped to that ridge line made 17.5 13 centimetre lines, which is about 227 centimetres. And I tried to keep the line thickness pretty consistent. And now I'm going to try some dip pen enhancement with this ballpoint pen. And it's not the ballpoint pen I need. It's actually the, oh wow, that spring is enormous. It is the spring I needed. But that's a giant spring. Oh dear, that won't do at all. So I found another spring out of this Papermate Inkjoy. Here it is. It is much, much smaller. I didn't mind taking it out of this pen because it brought me no joy. Now all we have to do now is find a way to attach this spring here to this cat butt, which is in the way of the camera, to the pen nib. So first I have to shorten the spring. That's important so there won't be any overhang or anything. And now to attach the spring to the nib, I have this extremely powerful magnet, which I pulled out of an old hard disk drive. So I'm going to magnetize the spring like so. Might just do this for a minute or two. This is another boring part of the video. Exciting video, isn't this? You got to watch me draw 2 meters of lines. Now you're watching me try and magnetize a spring for minutes at a time. Wow, such an exciting educational resource. Perhaps I would have better chance of actually magnetizing the pen nib itself. Okay, I don't know how I've managed to do this, but I somehow managed to make the spring and the pen nib repel one another. Magnetize, magnetize. Okay, so the magnet idea was a great idea, but it was just too difficult to implement, especially after I magnetized both objects, the spring and the pen nib. So what I ended up doing was wrapping a single coil of the larger spring around the pen nib, putting the smaller spring underneath it, and then crimping them together. This looks quite effective. So first I will wash the oil off the nib that I have now put on the nib from my fingertips, and now we'll try it out, see how many more lines I can get out of it. I got to 10 lines before everything went bad. Okay, take 2. The ink flow of this pen nib is now completely ruined with the presence of the spring. It's very, very inconsistent. And while making this disenhancement, the pliers bit me and I got a blood blister, which I now feel like has been for nothing. I removed it. That was almost 18 lines, to over 2 meters once again. I think this has been a valuable lesson in just appreciate something for what it is, instead of trying to enhance it into something that it's not. I mean, if I really wanted something that would draw a continuous line, why not just use a good fountain pen or something, you know? So there you go. I waste my time so you don't have to. Unless you also count this video as a waste of time. No, don't. What's that button down there that you're going to press? No, don't do it. Oh, you press the dislike button. No one sees those now anyway.